Okay, hi everyone, this is Megan from Amature Photography Group on Baby Center, also known as Mia Miguel. I'm going to go ahead and create this very basic video using GIMP, GIMP 2.6. It's a free editing program, very similar to Photoshop, does a lot of the same things. This is going to be a very basic video, like I said, so if you're stumbling upon this video and you're not from my Baby Center Amateur Photography Group, do know that I do not know everything about GIMP. This is just very basic to show some ladies that had requested how to use it, how to create masks and use layers and things of that nature. So like I said, I'm an amateur as well, so please understand that. And excuse the bad video quality, I'm using my little iPod as a video camera here, so I apologize. To get started, I would hope that you would have downloaded GIMP. You can find that at gimp.org at this page right here. Go ahead and click download. It may take a little bit, but it's pretty easy, and it doesn't run too slow as long as you have enough memory and stuff on your computer. Once you have that downloaded, you're going to have a little icon on your screen, and again, I apologize for my bad quality video. It looks like a little cat with a paintbrush in its mouth. You go ahead and click on that. You can double click it. Hold on, let me see if I can get my camera to show my whole screen here. Once you have it loaded, it's going to pull up like this. This main screen is going to be your picture screen. It's where your picture is going to pop up as. And then you're going to have two little dialog boxes here. This one is going to be your toolbox, and this is going to be your layers box. If it doesn't look exactly like this is okay. Once you get to know GIMP, you can actually stylize it in a way that suits you. If you don't have this layers box, go ahead and go up to the Windows icon right here. Go down to Dockable Dialogs and click on Layers. And there's lots of different ones you can choose. Once you get a little bit more advanced, you can go ahead and work with that. Once you have this up, you're going to go ahead and find your picture. Click on File, click on Open, and locate your file. You're not going to have any pictures in your icons right here. You're going to have to look at the previews through here. And once you do, see, it's working a little slow right here. Sorry about that. So you might want to figure out your file name beforehand. Otherwise, you're going to have to be clicking through until you find the picture that you need. I'm going to go ahead and use a picture that I did of a newborn a couple days ago. Once you pick your image, it's going to pull up on the screen, and this is where you're going to see everything, and you can actually change the view. You can zoom in and things like that. You're also going to see a little mini image over here. This is going to be one of your layers. You already have one layer, and that's it, and that's where you can view that. What you want to do, though, is, for the sake of this, is create two layers, because what we're going to do is a selective coloring. You all know what selective coloring is. Most photographers don't like it anymore because it is a pretty outdated, and it can be pretty cheesy at times. I personally feel the same way, but if done correctly, it can actually look kind of nice, and it's fun, especially as a mom, to work with your own kids' pictures. But it is a great way to learn how to use layers and masks, because this is a very basic way of doing it. So for the sake of practicing, that's what we're going to do. So anyways, we need to get another layer in here. Go over here, and if you go all the way down, there's going to be a box on box little icon. Go ahead and click that, and that's going to create another layer. What we're going to do is, it's going to say background copy, and you could change the name of that. I don't ever change the name. It really doesn't matter to me, but you can do that just so you know what you're working with once you get into like pictures that have multiple layers. And things like that. So click on the background copy, and this is the one we're going to create black and white. There's lots of ways of doing black and white. I get a little bit more detail with my black and white, but for the sake of this video, we're going to keep it simple. So go up to colors. Once you have this clicked on the top one, go up to colors, and my favorite way is you can either go to saturate or go down to map and click on gradient map. This will turn it black and white. It is going to make it a little muddy, meaning very dull, not the best black and white. And like I said, you can make it to your liking. I won't get in depth, but I am going to change it a little bit because it will really bug me if I don't. by doing this, I went to colors and clicked on levels, and this is going to pull up your levels, and we can go through levels and what it means later, but for the sake of this video, just follow my steps and you can play with it later. I'm going to take the middle slider and bring it to the left. That's going to make your midtones brighten. I'm going to take my black slider, bring it to the right, and that's going to darken your blacks. You don't want to do that too much because you'll lose some detail. And then I'm going to lighten up my whites a little bit by taking my white, or my highlights, and bringing it to your left as well. Excuse me. Once you have it to your liking, click OK. And there's going to be your black and white image. And the next thing you're going to want to do is, what our next thing is we're going to try to make the flower colored. And to do this, you want to get a little bit more detailed. So what you want to do is zoom in a bit. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom it to 50%. Get what you want colored right in the middle so that you have everything you want to work with right there, nice and big. Now, in order to make this colorful and to have this layer show through, we want to add a mask. In order to make a mask, you're going to right click on the black and white image. Scroll down to add layer mask. And now you're going to click white full opacity. If you click black full transparency, it's going to show through. It's going to basically mask the whole black and white image, showing the colorful image, and you'll be coloring back the black and white, which is not what you want. We're trying to color back the color, correct? So let's just click on white and click add. And once you do that, a little white box is going to pull up on next to your black and white image. And that's going to be your mask. Now, in order to get the color through, what you're going to do is come over to the brush tool. I like to pick a nice, big, soft brush. This image is fairly large, so I'm going to bring the scale all the way up to a 10. It's going to give me a nice, big brush. And once you have that, you're going to go over and click on the white box so that you know that's what you're coloring on. Because if you haven't clicked on anything else, you're going to basically be drawing on that image, and you'll have to edit, undo, things like that. So just make sure that you're clicking on that white box. With your nice big brush, go ahead and start painting over the top of it. Now, I am getting a little messy because I don't want this video to be too long. I am a big stickler about selective coloring being on the spot. Like, it has to be very tidy. I can't stand selective coloring where you get messy, like right here, like you're coloring out of the lines and you can actually see it. If you're going to do selective coloring, make sure that you color within the lines and make it look real nice. It just looks more professional and brings down the cheesiness factor a lot. So once you do that, and you see that you're coming out of the lines, in order to get that back to black and white, you're going to change your brush to white. You could do this by this little colorful thing right here. Oops, sorry, these little color boxes. If you had it on black, there's a little arrow tool. Click that and it's going to turn it to white. Once you do that, I'm going to go ahead and bring down the scale a little bit to make a smaller brush so that I can get a little bit more detailed. And then I'll paint over the parts I want to be back to black and white. Now, if I were really doing this to an image that I wanted to keep, I would zoom in and get really detailed along the edges. Because like I said, you really want to get in there and get everything to make it look tidy. Otherwise it's going to look like a kindergarten's coloring page where, you know, you're not coloring in the lines. And it's pretty noticeable with a colored image. So get in there. I'm not going to get too detailed, so do as I say, not as I do, if you know what I mean. So anyways, pretend that's perfect. At this point, you're done, basically. You have your image colored through. You have the selective coloring you wanted. If there was something else in the image I wanted to color back, I could. You could make the flower more saturated by clicking on the colored image. You can do color, hue saturation, and you could saturate the colors a bit. You could also go to colors. Oops, sorry. There you go. Go to curves, and you could brighten up the flower a little bit, makes the dark a little darker by creating an S curve. Again, we can go through that later. There's all these things that you can do, but at this point I like to just keep it a little basic for you. So now that you have that, let's go ahead and look at the image, see what it looks like. And there you go. There's your selected color image. If you want to, go ahead and flatten it by right-clicking on the on your layers dialog. Sorry, I did that kind of fast. Scroll down to flatten image, and it's going to bring your layers together. Now, I wouldn't do that all the time because you may lose it. You won't be able to adjust anything. But for the sake of being done, I want to go ahead and flatten that. And then there you have it. There's your image. Go to File and go to Save As. Don't save because it's going to go ahead. It'll save and change your original image, and you don't want to do that because you want to keep that copy in case you need it for something else. Click Save As. Go ahead and call it whatever you'd like. Then click Save. And I'll just click Replace because I already have it saved. Now the quality dialog is going to pull up. Go ahead and bring your slider over to 100. It's going to keep it nice and large file for you. And click on Save. Now it's going to be saved. And there you go. Pretty simple. Practice. Pull up a bunch of different images if you can. You know, make crazy selective coloring images. Don't get too cheesy. If you do, keep it on your own computer. And just have fun with it, and that's really going to help you learn how layers works and how masks work. And by able to use layers and masks, you're going to be able to do a lot more things, such as skin smoothing, eye popping, you know, cloning, things like that, where you're not hurting the rest of your image, but you're just working with a special part of your image. And then you can get really detailed with your editing, which really does up your image qualities a lot. And that's my opinion. Some people like, you know, straight out of the camera images. I like to edit, and that's perfectly, you know, that's perfectly fine. It's just a preference. But I'll go to make some other videos. Just let me know which ones you guys want. Sorry if the quality was kind of crappy. I apologize. And I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, I'll go ahead and create a thread on the Amateur Photography Group. And go ahead and ask me any questions you'd like, or any suggestions for other videos. And I'll go ahead and work on them. Thanks. Have a good day.